gosh, am I tired? Oh, just getting out of bed. I am so tired. Just wanted to say something. Um, if you have severe insomnia, nobody should be assuming that your insomnia is a mental health issue. Nobody, no doctor or medical person should be assuming that it's a mental health issue. This company that I'm associated with, this healthcare company that's associated with my former place of work, has sent me a few emails. They have an online health service, online, I guess, medical service. I used it a couple times in the past, but I don't use it. But they sent me a few emails, kind of intriguing. If you have insomnia, contact us. And they keep sending me this particular email. So it kind of intrigued me. And then it says, press here for an appointment. Hang on. The radio's going in the next room, and it's distracting me. I keep thinking, am I hearing a song in my head or am I not? Oh yeah, is that really the radio? I could, Okay, anyways, so it says press here to book an appointment. And so I press here, and then it starts asking me a bunch of questions like, do you ever feel like harming yourself? Do you ever, think that you hate yourself? And like, what is this? Why should any medical person or medical system assume that your severe insomnia is coming from a mental health issue? And so I'm ticked off answering these questions. And then it says, do you have anything else to add? And, it's all these questions, if you're ready to unalive yourself and blah, blah, blah. And then it says, do you have anything else to add? The questionnaire finishes, and then it says, okay, your mental health appointment has been set up for tomorrow. And I said, then it says, do you have anything to add? And I said, I did not sign up for a mental health appointment. I'm not asking for mental health help. Like, what I'm wondering is I'm wondering if they have anything to offer at all. Wondering if they have anything, wondering how comprehensive they will get in to assist a person. And my point is, nobody should be assuming that your insomnia is a mental health issue or a, what's it called? Sleep hygiene issue. Nobody should assume it's because you're going to bed too late, or it's too warm in your house, or you're looking at your computer, you're looking at your phone for hours in bed. No one should assume that it's something that you're doing wrong, or no one should assume that it's stress or anxiety or depression, right? And, probably most often it is, probably most often it is worry and anxiety, but not to the point where you're ready to kill yourself, right? This, it's 2026. It's ridiculous that I see this all the time. There's sleep coaches, there's sleep companies out there, they make this blanket assumption that, they know what's wrong with you and why you're sleeping. Nobody should assume that you're not having medical issues that is preventing you from sleeping. Probably you don't, but nobody should assume that. There are different reasons why you might not be sleeping. All the issues that kept me from sleeping, none of the doctors could identify or fix or diagnose. So that's why this topic really ticks me off. So what couldn't they diagnose? What wouldn't they diagnose? What went undiagnosed and misdiagnosed for decades for me? And what other, reasons could there be that someone isn't seriously sleeping? And I mean severely sleep deprived, severe insomnia, to the point that you cannot work anymore. You've lost your friends, you don't socialize, you can't cope in your home anymore. Your life has been destroyed. You're so sleep deprived that you can't cope anymore. But it didn't start out that way. It started out just mild, and it got worse and worse. And then all the drug induced disorders that doctors couldn't diagnose. And then there are really rare things that could potentially be happening. So what's the list of things that no doctor could diagnose in me? Number 1, sleep apnea. Number 2, a jaw issue, a narrow airway. Number 3, sleepwalking caused by medications. Sleep eating caused by medications. Respiratory depression caused by medications. Sleep apnea made worse by medications, undiagnosed sleep apnea. Night sweats caused by medication. And what else? What other things can cause restless legs and full body restless body can be caused by different substances. For example, like melatonin can do that to people. Alcohol can cause restlessness. Medications can begin to eradicate your REM sleep, shorten your stages of sleep, shorten the overall time that you stay asleep. Medications can cause serious sleep issues. Medications can destroy your sleep. Being overprescribed medications can destroy your sleep. Misusing Benadryl can harm you as bad as prescribed sleep medications by eradicating your REM and messing with the stages of sleep and duration. What else? And then there's, things like serious heart issues can cause you. I was brought right to the point where I was only sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night from all of my sleep issues going on at the same time. A serious heart issue can do that to you as well. A brain issue, Chiari malformation can do that to you. Rarely, it can make a person severely sleep deprived. And then there's the fatal familial insomnia, or sporadic, the sporadic fatal insomnia, which hardly no one will ever get. But so there's all those. How many things did I just list off? There's all those different things that And then, people talk about adrenaline dumping or whatever that is. So that's about, 12 issues that are not psychiatric issues. But here's the problem. I had practitioners and doctors approach me exactly like that company approaches me in the email, coming at you, assuming that none of your issues are medical or physical. And that's the way I was failed for decades. Assuming that nothing's really wrong with you, assuming that, you can't possibly be sick and have medical issues preventing you from sleeping. So it's going to be interesting. I have an appointment in an hour. I'd be thrilled if they had something positive to offer. Something, other, even in the way of psych. How is an online medical service going to help you in regards to sleep? It almost looked to me, in a way, the email almost looked like a way to get you on sleeping pills or an antidepressant. That's what concerns me. Someone long distance in another province wanting prescribing. Imagine that. How, to me, that's reckless. Someone in another province getting you on psychiatric drugs, getting the ball rolling, and getting you on a cycle of medications, right? Medications should be the last resort. And to me, in this email, the way they present this, it looks like a first line. And that's exactly how they failed me. First line defense, put her on medications. That started decades of sleepwalking, sleep eating. It caused years of serious respiratory depression. It made my undiagnosed apnea worse. It may have even created my apnea. And the whole airway issue was completely disregarded. Decades of suffering like that, my sleep got less and less and less. I was brought to the point where I was sleeping only 1 or 2 hours a night. I was in that condition for 4.5 years, got off all the medications, and then began to fight for real answers and real health care. And finally, it took years. It took 6-7 years to put all the pieces together, to get diagnosed with apnea, to figure out the airway issue. And now I'm trying to get help for the airway issue. So if you know for sure that your severe insomnia is not a mental health issue, push for the proper help and research your butt off.